Here, I'll check this out when I fill up my water and take a piss. I love the quote on that. I'll smack you, tit boy. What does that mean? Ah, there's a lot of layers in that onion to peel apart. Let's see what this is. I don't know who Wes Watson is, but I'm very curious to see what he does to tit boy.
How do you define success? What does that mean for you?
Success is, being free, being able to do what I want to do every day when I wake up.
Wrong. Success is how much pussy you get. Duh, idiot. Where's Wes Watson? Set everyone straight here. Is this him?
No vices. That means no drugs, no alcohol, no bullshit. Don't have to hide behind nothing. I mean, what's rich? I mean, you get to do what the fuck you want. I don't.
Is this Wes Watson? Is this the right guy? Let me see. Or is this Tit Boy? Who's who here? Okay, that is Wes Watson. Didn't he just say no drugs? Brother, gear is a drug too, you know that, right? No drugs, except for the ones I do. No vices, except for the ones I do. This guy probably actually did have gynecomastia at some point. So he is literally Tit Boy.
Ash, dude. Pull your fucking shirt
Because
off
I've been.
and tell me you're fucking proud of
Because
yourself.
I've been to fucking.
Oh, wait, oh, I gotta rewind. I always love that. Pull your shirt off! Show me your body! And let me touch it a little bit. Because you're probably not proud of it.
Are you proud? If you look in the mirror, would you guys say this motherfucker's proud of who the fuck he is? That's a bag of trash, dude. Pull your fucking shirt
Because
off
I've
and
been.
tell me you're fucking proud of
Because
yourself.
I've been to fucking prison.
Jesus Christ,
Because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
No,
you
they
guys.
go to prison where they get fucking.
Fuck yeah,
where
they
get
do.
raped up the ass.
You've never been to prison. Look,
That's
you're
what
talking about shit you
happens.
don't know.
They go to prison.
This is a
where they
crazy
get raped.
argument.
You get your ass
Hold on,
beat
hold
in
on,
front
hold
of
You think that
everybody.
that's better?
Guys,
You think that that's
okay.
better?
Let's let him. Yeah.
Titties.
Anyway,
Who do you think would
That's
win?
where I was
In what?
Boobs.
yeah. Okay.
A fight? This guy would probably win. He's got that roid rage psychopath energy. This guy would get snapped in half, no doubt. But if we're talking about like a lactation contest, this guy he's harping on the titties of would not win. It would be this guy. This guy's got so much gear in his body, his tits probably lactate all the time by pure accident. This guy's probably got a pump in his fridge. So it just depends on what kind of fight they're having. If you want to be a true alpha male, not this embarrassing caricature of one, then you have to get yourself the new Gamer Supps Waifu Cup of Me that just dropped. That's right, it's finally here. The Moist Waifu Cup has finally arrived. It's available right now at gamersupps.gg. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's guaranteed to be the best possible cup you've ever had in your life. Big thanks to Gamersupps for making this chalice here. I am honored to be represented as a big-tittied waifu. It's been long overdue, and I think it came out extraordinary.
But anyway, if you want,
Fuck yeah.
if you want to follow the successful mantra of a man who tells you he's reformed from prison, understand why they might have gone there to begin with. And
To take care
yes,
of a
I
family.
do think.
What did he go to prison for? To take care of his family? Isn't that the opposite? You were not there for your family if you were in prison. I went to prison because I was such a good dad. That's why I went. He went undercover. Oh, wow, he spent a decade in prison. Holy shit. I thought it was going to be like a, I don't know, like 6-month stint in prison. No, this guy went to jail for 10 years. What did he do? That must have been heinous. During his 10 years in and he actually uses this as a selling point for himself. During his 10 years in California prison, West began building an Instagram presence while behind bars. Well, what did he go to jail for? Then he talks about becoming a millionaire within 18 months after being released. Is that it? It was 10 years in prison for robbery, burglary, assault, and battery. Oh, what? Tough guy's got his Instagram account privated? What's going on with that? He's got 1.2 million followers, though. Why is his Instagram private, though? That's not ripped, rare, and rich. I'm sure all the followers are real people, too, and not bots. I have no doubt. No, it's definitely not a purchased account. If anyone's curious, though, for how he became a millionaire within 18 months of being released from prison, he did it because he exploited you. The desperate, gullible men that are purchasing his shit and saying that it's worthwhile. You think this guy somehow found the ways to make money in jail for 10 years for beating people and robbing them? Yeah, I'm sure he's got a fucking fountain of knowledge to bestow upon you. He just found the easiest way of making money in the modern age, which is telling desperate men that they're losers, and the only way they'll stop being a loser is if they give him money. That's it. That's the shocking secret to how he became a millionaire. Charlie, he invented docking and copyrighted it. True, actually, maybe that is what it is. He brought docking into the mainstream.
True wealth is having a wife, and true wealth, that is what I think it is. And that is what I think truly success is being able to go home and look your family in the face and know that you're doing everything you can to support them. That's
And then
what
when
I
you
think
go to the
success
beach
is.
with your family, they're like, "There's my stud dad right there, standing there."
Do you have
That's literally his whole life. Holy shit, that is so sad. His whole life is his body. Which is going to give out within the next 15 years from his overusage of gear. That's so sad. That is so fucking sad. This guy is 10x the insecurity of this man. Oof. That is actually all he can say. What an absolute fucking weenie. Yeah.
Stud right there with
Do
his
you,
shirt off.
do you have children?
Look at that
Do
stud.
you have children?
I do have children.
How many?
I have 2.
You have 2. So, are you saying that your Bugatti and your money and everything
If
else
they
is
saw me
worth more
standing
than your
there, they'd be
children?
like, "My dad's a superhero. Look what he brought to the table. Look how hard this guy works. He came from
Sure.
nothing to this.
Yeah.
He's, God damn it.
You're still whining. Stop
That-
whining
that
and
is
just
a
make an
product.
argument.
I'll smack your fat ass.
So you're gonna-
Dude,
All right,
look
let's
at
just-
your goddamn self.
Okay.
Oh man, this is much worse than I thought it would be for this guy. Yikes. Eek. Eek. I'm sure his children are so proud. My dad's a superstar. Look at him melt down on this fucking podcast about this guy. All because his body isn't as exploited with gear as my dad's. I'm so happy. My pop is the best. Oh, he only spent the first 10 years of my life in jail. What do you mean? He's a great dad.
This is not what men
Let's let
look
him.
like.
Let's let him
What do they
finish
look
his
like?
point.
Fucking shit.
What do they look like? Bald prisoners? Is that what they look like?
This is the
let 'em-
problem in
let's-
society. If you're like this, think they can talk to someone like me like that.
You started it, goofball. Oh my god, he's getting. This is why he privated his Instagram account now. I see. Oh my, he's getting destroyed.
That's what the show is supposed to be about. I like this shit. So personally,
So do
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks like you enjoy
We can
it.
agree to
Private
disagree.
account.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We can
We
have
can move on, but
we can-
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, men don't have tits.
Thanks for your sub,
agree on
Jan.
that. Physically,
Men usually have
he has-
hair. We
he
can
has-
agree on that too.
He has
Physically.
crossed over gender barriers.
Right.
That guy actually only has a single thought in his mind at any given time. My body versus that body. My body better. My body use all kind of HGH substances. Thus I win. And he can't process anything else.
Need some other little fucking lame douche over there.
Oh man.
I'll
Come
still
on,
answer the
man.
question. Is giving
Would-
someone an
would- would
expensive
you,
watch?
Would any of you guys really hang out with these guys?
This is not an
This
argument.
guy is having... This guy... This guy's fucking awesome. What an effective clown. I've never heard of Wes Watson before. I need to look more into this. Master your mind and body. Meanwhile, this guy just throws a temper tantrum like a child who can only say one thing, like, your body's yucky. I went to jail for 10 years, so what? Would you hang out with these guys? Oh, this is cute. On his website, he had a little bit of hair. Oh, so here we go. He used to be a marijuana dealer. And it looks like he was sentenced to jail for what Chatter mentioned earlier with like the robbery, assault, burglary, whatever, all of that. But he used to be a dealer. So I'm guessing... I still haven't seen exactly what the case was. But I'm guessing it was something about like a deal gone bad, maybe? I don't really know. I thought so. Okay. So the... This is so crazy. I think this is right. So the person he's currently dating is the woman who had that very viral plane meltdown and then got offered a porn deal. So his current girlfriend is this lady, I'm pretty sure. At least according to the articles that I was coming up and reading about this lady.
I did nothing wrong. No, you shut the up. You shut the up and your bitch. You shut the... Film me. I'm Instagram famous, you bum. Shut the
It's crazy. That's a perfect match. That is a perfect match. Two insufferable people dating each other. You couldn't script that any better. Did she take the porn deal too? That would be the cherry on top of the Wes Watson shit cake. This is so interesting. Hold on, one more thing I want to look up that I saw pop up briefly when looking into Wes Watson. Just, sorry. And then we'll get back to him screaming about whatever the fuck he's melting down about, shaking his fist at the clouds. Your body isn't as ripped as mine, clouds. You have no right here. Okay. So what I saw come up is that he also has a podcast, but that doesn't seem correct. It looks like he was a guest on a podcast, and it was called How to Date a Bad Bitch. And it's him talking about dating that plain lady that was melting down. Alright, sorry, I stopped looking up shit on the side here for side quests. Let's see what else he has to say.
Jesus Christ.
They're skilled
Fuck
at
you.
some things.
Whoever fucking said
Hang
that.
on, that bass
Get
guy
you
right
in
there
your
just said,
fucking
hell
face,
yes,
little
shut up.
faggot.
That's fucking hilarious. You're awesome.
Different
Yeah,
guys on the
this
panel.
is why most people don't invite me
Guys,
places.
guys. Different guys
Yeah,
on
we
the panel
could-
That's so sad.
No.
have different skills.
Yeah, that is so sad. Why would you say that? This is why I don't have any friends. Man, I don't have any friends. Look how quiet he gets after saying that, too.
We could tell his tits are all jiggling. He's
God,
got
that's
a
actually
half
all he's
fucking
got.
jelly donut
Hey,
or
bro,
what.
your toupee, it's still back there in the back. Go get it.
I shaved my head, you little faggot.
Are you
Shut the
sure
fuck
they...
up.
Oh,
you
boy.
shave your head, or-
Uh-oh.
Guys,
Back
guys,
here.
guys.
I want to see these guys women. Let's put these trolls back here.
Women are not objects
Hey,
in our
hey,
world because
guys,
we're not
guys,
material.
guys.
Hey, Wes, I don't think you want to play that game, brother. Your woman went viral for being an insufferable asshole that everyone clowned on, and she got offered to do porn. Like, brother, you don't want to play that game. You really don't. This guy super sucks. He talks about how he used to be a huge drug-dealing kingpin who lived in big mansions, but the reality is he sold a little bit of weed and slept on his friend's couch. No, that's the propaganda that they're feeding you. He really was... No, dude, this guy, Wes Watson, he really did live in the biggest mansions, fuck the baddest bitches, sell the dopest weed. You got your facts mixed up.
We're gonna
make
move
you
on.
cry if you want.
We're gonna
little
move on.
faggot.
That's all
We're
you
gonna
got.
move on.
He's
We're gonna
still
move on.
going. He's so hurt.
We're gonna
No,
move
y'all,
on.
that's all you got is threats.
We're gonna
and
move
free
on,
drink.
guys. We're gonna
I'm
move
a great
on.
speaker.
We're gonna move on, guys. We're gonna move on.
Listen, Rich, better be proud of
No, it looks like they calmed him down is the wrong word. It looks like he ran out of words in his head. So then he blue screened in his brain. What an interesting guy. He's like if you tried to have someone do their best to be Dan Bilzerian, but without the actual money. Just taking like core personality traits and rolling them up into one guy who's battling his inner demons of insecurity. He's trying so fucking hard to put on the persona. He's more like a D-list Liver King. Liver King tries to be like wholesome. Like Liver King, he's just a scammer. This guy is both a scammer and an insufferable asshole who projects his insecurities onto every single living being with a pulse, it seems. And then privates his Instagram account when people tell him that he's a loser. That was interesting. That did lead to a new discovery here of the Wes Watson rabbit hole. I looked more into his arrest. He basically got arrested for beating up and robbing a low-level weed dealer at a random motel. Brother, that's not what happened. I don't know what kind of fucking woke news sources you're reading. Wes Watson, he marched out into Gotham by himself and took on Penguin's entire gang, upturned that bitch, and stole all their product, and eventually Commissioner Gordon had him thrown behind bars. That's what happened. And he did it for his family. That was pretty cool. That was pretty fucking awesome. Do you even realize how lucky you are to be able to just sit here in peace while there's others out there struggling by getting gadooshed every day? Huh? You ever stop to think about those people? And by people, I mean that one guy, Wes Watson. I've made a video on Wes Watson in the past, like 6 months ago, where he got absolutely embarrassed on this podcast panel where he looked like the most insecure little bitch of all time. And since then, he's only continued to self-sabotage, melt down, and just devolve into this slug person who is constantly arguing with Reddit every day.
Message. There is really a person who wrote me bragging about how big of a Reddit page they have talking shit about me. Like, that's a bad thing. There's that many people that are so worried about me that I'm famous as a motherfucker. I have that many haters. That's how amazing I am at doing what I do. I trigger that many lames. The guy used the word gadooshing. The guy said that they're on there gadooshing me.
A pathetic monologue trying to put on a strong face, but it's clear that this is affecting him on a deep personal level. He's trying to cope with the biblical gadooshing that he's been receiving for the last couple months. So Wes Watson is your generic ChatGPT AI spit out life coach, where he doesn't actually do anything. He just asks people to give him money and he tells them that they're going to be successful for doing it. That's his whole life. He just takes money from people and buys cars with it and then yells in his cars about why he needs more money to teach more people to become millionaires. He has a whole channel dedicated to just whining to his followers about giving him money, how he needs more money. He is literally just a dominatrix that desperate dudes will pay and think that somehow they're going to make money from it or he's going to impart wisdom on them. Meanwhile, Wes doesn't actually have a business. His business is looking for pay piggies that will pay him under the ruse that he's going to give them life advice, but he openly mocks them for doing it too. It's this like crazy cycle.
These are the people who make the videos calling studs like me fake alphas. Oh my God!
Wes Watson has become a full-blown special grade lol cow over the last few months, and I have been tuned into the soap opera. I check in on the lore with Wes Watson every couple weeks, so I watch his newest rants, and I also watch content creators that cover him like Too Lazy to Try or John Bravo. And it's just such a joyful frolic through unhinged delusion with this maniac. He loves to brag about being in jail. Like in every video you'll see of his, he'll mention jail at least 3 or 4 times pretty much. That's his bread and butter. Yeah, when I was locked up, I learned to put toothpicks on my nipples. Like, it's just the most out of nowhere shit. And somehow that makes him qualified as a life coach. And one thing he's always really proud of when he mentions jail is like how flexible his anus is. So he's constantly talking about like hooping his paperwork and sticking things in his butt and like showing his butt to other people in jail. Like he even said that people wouldn't even recognize him by his face sometimes. They recognized him by his brown balloon knot, by his fucking asshole. Like it's so fascinating. It's so interesting.
You know they love to see them buttholes. They want you to wink at them the whole nine. So I gotta show them. They want to see. They only know you by your butthole in there. They see my face and they're like, oh, who are you again? And then I just bend over. I show them the butthole. Oh, Wes Watson, how you doing, bro? What's up? Nice to meet you again.
So the man was talking about, you know, how much gaboofing he used to do, and now he's out here complaining about getting gadooshed. You know, it's so weird. I feel like he'd be like honored to be gadooshed as much as he is, but he keeps going like steam out of his ears, furious about it. And it is always amazing to hear him talk about it. I swear, every time Wes Watson says gadoosh, an angel gets its wings.
Imagine this stud, this ringleader of Reddit reviewers who gadoosh me. Oh, fuck. Oh my God. No, bro. I was too busy making millions of dollars and not knowing who you are at all while you were gadooshing yourself about me.
I just love it. I absolutely love it. It kind of reminds me of like that old cartoon gag that they do all the time where a character will step on a rake and it hits him in the face. They turn around, step on another rake, it hits him in the face, and it just goes back and forth a couple times. That's Wes Watson with gadooshing. He is just constantly getting big time gadooshed. And he pretends to play it off like he doesn't care, but he's the guy who cares the most in the world about everything. He argues with everyone, even through text messages, even through Instagram DMs, on Reddit. He is constantly arguing with anybody that doesn't like him, yet pretends like, I don't even know who you are. I'm too busy making millions of dollars and having 6 sums with all supermodels. By the way, there's even lore behind that. So like, he has a girlfriend that he shows in content, but apparently it's actually an escort that he rents to be in the videos. Like, it goes crazy. I haven't dove too deep into all of that, but there's just so much there to the Wes Watson cinematic universe. You know what I mean? It's so easy to get wrapped up in the craziness of it, which is why I check in so frequently.
When you see someone as amazing as Wes Watson on your screen, you couldn't fathom how it could be real. It's gotta be all fake, because I could never even understand how the fuck someone would pay $95,000 a month in rent. So I'm just gonna talk shit that he rents his pad, and I'm gonna fully just skip over the understanding that I don't have $95,000 a month, and I'm in his comments all buck-toothed and cross-eyed, all, he fucking rents his pad. But he leaves out the whole point that he rents it for $95,000 a month and writes that $95,000 a month off to where it's a massive tool for building his business, an expense that brings in profit.
So when he's not yelling about Reddit gadooshing and yelling to his followers about how they're pathetic brokies who can't afford $3,000 for a life-changing course that he offers, he's sometimes giving this kind of speech, and this is like the standard playbook for life coaches, the no-nonsense, tough guy, tough love approach. You're broke, you're pathetic. You're insulting me for renting my place, you just don't understand it. And I guess it can work in shaming some people into it, but I think that is so fucking sad. So what he's saying here is a bunch of baloney. This is actual fish paste. So he's renting this extremely expensive place, all to look cool on camera. He's paying $95,000 a month to rent this place just to flex it on the people that are paying for it, for him to live there. It's so fucking weird. So there are... If anyone here has a functioning frontal lobe, you'll know why it's a super stupid idea to pay $95,000 in rent. And he desperately tries to reach into that chocolate starfish of his to try and find some kind of explanation for why he's doing it, and he comes up with this, where you guys don't even fathom the $95,000 that it takes to rent this place. You don't have it. You're more pathetic because you can't afford to waste $95,000 on this kind of place. Meanwhile, even if everyone in the world had that kind of disposable income, most people are sane enough to not do this because you are pissing it away. You're not even building equity. You have nothing to show for it. You are flushing it down the shitter, Wes. And he's trying to say like, no, it's good for the business. It's good for the business. It's going to turn profit. No, it's not. It's not doing that. I guess you can almost make an argument for Wes specifically because his followers see flashy thing and it's like caveman brain, like neuron activate. Wes have flashy thing. I want flashy thing. He say I only need to spend $3,000 to maybe get it. Okay. Like, I guess it can kind of work in his line there, but it's the stupidest shit ever. Paying $95,000 to rent a mansion just to look cool on camera is so pitiful. Like, it's actually sickening. And I'll go ahead and show you another quick Wes Watson montage clip here where he's just melting down at his followers for being too broke and they shouldn't be complaining about how expensive his courses are.
The fact that there's so many fucking grown men and women who don't have 20 fucking grand. Oh my God, that would be lame. Holy shit. Do you know most people I know got millions? Like, and we're not special. Like, we're at the bottom. Like, having some M's is whatever. And you motherfuckers don't have 20 grand and say it's expensive. And the program doesn't even start at, it starts at $3,000. You guys.
$3,000? He's basically giving it away for free. Wow, Wes. $3,000 to just get berated in like daily uploads from Wes, freaking out about nothing because he is perpetually livid. This man only has one emotion, and it's anger. That's it. I don't think I've ever seen him calm at all. Even when he's living like his super successful, happy life, he's mad about it. He's mad at somebody. He's arguing with some ghost. It's so weird. But man, it is captivating, which is why I tune in every couple of weeks. I have only made one video on Wes, but I've talked about him on stream a few times, just, going through the exposition and the new stuff in the Wes Watson lore. And I just had to talk about it today because I caught up today and I could not stop giggling at this new arc we find ourselves in the Wes Watson anime, the Gadooshing arc. This is probably my favorite so far. The Gadooshing is actual top tier content. So just wanted to talk about it a bit. That's it. So yeah. One of my favorite new lol cows, the Gadoosh God Wes Watson, has just had a crazy development in his lore as he continues to spiral. He has become an impressive clown. Now, I made a video a little over a month ago kind of bringing you all up to speed on the story, the anime arc of Wes Watson. The sensitive Sigma Watson does your standard guru scamming tactics where he sells these garbage classes and courses on how to be a multi-millionaire who gets more ass than a toilet seat, and he sells this invaluable knowledge for thousands upon thousands of dollars, preying upon gullible, desperate men who look at videos of Wes Watson's fake lifestyle and rented mansion with stars in their eyes, thinking they're only one Zoom meeting away from achieving that for themselves. So they toss their wallet at the computer screen, hoping to latch on to Wes Watson's juiced-out bosom to suckle a bit of success from it. And he drains their piggy bank, and they say thank you for it. They get nothing in return, but Wes Watson gets very rich off of his little pay piggies. That's the whole scam. We all know how it works. But what makes Wes Watson so special is that he's not afraid to show his sensitive side. He is constantly arguing with Redditors and people on Instagram, so he directly messages pretty much everyone who makes fun of him, and it's what makes him such an entertaining clown. So the video I made talking about gadooshing, well, that came from him, because he was talking about how Redditors were gadooshing him. It's just so entertaining listening to him bitch and moan and rant and spiral into lunacy, but he did recently find himself in a serious situation, which is what we're here to talk about today. He has some charges filed against him, if you can believe that. He already spent 10 years in the slammer before, where he'd brag about how flexible his asshole was hooping his paperwork, and Wes, it's looking like you might need to start getting back on those Kegels. You might need to start working out that sphincter again, because these charges are serious. It's always the people you least expect, huh?
Where's the police report? Are there charges being pressed, right? Well, I have it all, and I'm gonna show it to you, and I'm gonna go over it with you. This is an open case. I'm working on the full footage, censoring it in a way so I don't get in legal trouble, and I'm gonna put it out on here, and then later, when I can actually release the whole thing, I'm gonna put it on X uncensored. When I'm allowed to.
Last time I was goofing on Whiny Watson, I also briefly mentioned John Bravo. John Bravo has a channel that has done extremely good coverage on Wes Watson's embarrassing descent into madness. And John Bravo has a great video here where he is going over the footage to the best of his ability, as well as the police report from Wes Watson and his group of lobotomites' assault on someone that actually took up Wes Watson's common challenge of fighting him. So, let me go ahead and tell you how we got here, the context. About a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago, there was footage, as well as Wes Watson's testimonials about this, that someone had confronted him at the gym. A 7-foot monster is what he was referred to as, and Wes Watson beat his ass. And there was like some stills that floated around, but no one had like the full picture, and some people were calling it fake. Well, John Bravo did some digging, and he got all of the footage, which he is saying he's going to release the full uncensored version once he's able to make sure that he's not going to get in trouble for it, and also has the police report, which he goes over in this video, which we will also go over as well.
The first thing I want you guys to see, I have to obviously black out the person's name, the police report number. See where it says disposition pending? That means the case is open, all right? And the other thing I'm going to tell you ahead of time is I'm going to go to the bottom and read you one part that I'm going to go back to the start, okay? Because I know a lot of people are impatient. They want to watch 3 seconds and leave, okay? When the victim was asked if he wanted to press charges, the victim stated yes. And he was jumped by multiple people and was not just a 1-versus-1 battle.
Now, the gist of it is, the reason the 7-foot monster was there in the first place is because he went there to actually take up Wes Watson on his challenge. Wes Watson has been wishing for hair for many, many moons now, but the only wish that's actually being granted is someone actually taking him up on this. So the 7-foot monster shows up, and Wes Watson doesn't actually fight him one-on-one. So he actually just gets ganged up on by Wes and 3 of his buddies who are hitting him with dumbbells, weight belts, and it's just brutal. And imagine being that pathetic worm that flexes about this, because Wes Watson was making it sound like he was some kind of hero and this was all self-defense. He made it sound like he fought this guy with the Knight's Code of Honor. Like a 1v1 pugilistic fisticuffs, the old-fashioned way. That's a load of fucking barnacles right there. That's just fanfic, because what actually happened is Wes Watson got to hide behind his friends and they just ganged up on this guy. Imagine being such a pitiful fucking vermin that you challenge someone to a fight and then bring 3 other dudes with you to help fight that guy with you. It's so cringe, which is Wes Watson in a nutshell.
The suspect stated the victim walked up to him stating he wanted to fight. The suspect stated they began to fight verbally and then escalated to physical. The victim stated he doesn't know who the victim is and he never seen him before. When asked if he wanted to press charges, he said no, this is Wes Watson. They asked him if he wants to press charges. Wes Watson says no, and he never seen him before. Units then spoke to the victim, the 7-foot monster, who stated he was told by the suspect to come fight him via Instagram. We know how Wes challenges all of us on Instagram. He did it to me, the piece of shit, but I knew not to go in because his goons, security, and his bullshit weapons pulling out the shit out of the purse.
I love the way John Bravo calls him a piece of shit all the time. He also calls him Peg Watson pretty often, and it just always makes me giggle just listening to him always slide in, you piece of shit, to Wes Watson. But anyway, what he is describing here was Wes Watson saying, like, he didn't know the suspect he was working out. This guy came over and said he wants to fight him. Well, the reason he came over and said he wants to fight him is because Wes Watson had challenged him, and he actually showed the Instagram messages that confirmed, yep, this was like a prearranged thing where Wes does the standard Wes thing of saying, come fight me. And the guy showed up, he said, bet, I'm here to fight. So he walked over to him, they had like a really brief verbal back and forth, and the victim did give him like a little shove, but to me it looks like he backed off, looking to try and de-escalate things. I think he wasn't really there to fight. I think he was there more just to confront a bully. I think that's what he was doing, because it doesn't look like he went over there to try and just beat Wes Watson's ass out of nowhere. Like, he didn't throw any sucker punches or anything from the footage that's been released. He goes over there, it's a verbal back and forth, and then he gives him like a little shove and then steps away. And then after he does that, that's when Wes Watson and his boys just go ballistic on him. Wes Watson strikes him in the face with a weight belt multiple times, and then all hell breaks loose.
When units looked at the victim's phone, it shows the victim messaging the suspect to fight him. The victim then stated he went to the gym to confront the suspect. So now we have the motive. So he wanted to go to the gym and fight Wes because Wes has been challenging all of us to come there. So he went to fight him. But I don't think he knew it wasn't a one-on-one battle with Mr. Pegged Watson.
It wasn't even a battle at all. It was checkmate before the game even started because Wes was traveling with 3 of his friends that were using weapons to defend Wes Watson, even though there wasn't really a threat to defend him from, at least not in my eyes. So like that initial shove, that is instigating for sure. I get that. They're in a verbal argument, but after the shove, he backs off. And it doesn't look like he ever planned on like striking at Wes until the weight belt hits him in the head twice. They then get into a verbal argument, and then he kind of like falls forward at Wes Watson. Maybe he's kind of lunging at him, but it also looks like his friend hit him with a dumbbell and it sent him forward, so it's kind of hard to tell. But what is irrefutable is that after that lunge, he falls to the ground, and then Wes and his friends hit him with dumbbells and weight belts for a very long period of time, and it ends with the victim kind of hunched over like this on the ground, all bloodied and bruised, and Wes Watson comes out of nowhere with a soccer kick to the fucking skull. That is a move that kills people. That is oftentimes fatal. And according to John Bravo in the full footage, there are 4 or 5 soccer kicks to the head of this guy.
Wes Watson, the victim stated they got in a verbal fight, which escalated to physical. The victim was stating that he was hit by a belt and then jumped by multiple people and hit by weights. When asked if he wanted to press charges, the victim stated yes. He was jumped by multiple people and it wasn't versus one. After reviewing CCTV footage of the incident, so the cops watched the CCTV footage, the victim places his phone down next to a weight machine as if he was attempting to record the encounter.
So he obviously recorded this knowing full well that he wanted to film his confronting of Wes Watson. So now we know why it was being recorded. It wasn't like a staged thing, which is what a lot of people thought it might have been when this initially started to float around. It's all very real and all confirmed in the police report here.
The suspect then swings the belt towards the victim's head, appearing to hit him. The suspect and victim continue to argue verbal. The suspect then turns around and starts to walk away from the victim with his back towards the victim. The victim then rushes towards the suspect and attempts to strike the suspect in the head with his fist, but appears to miss. All right, so that portion of the footage I'm going to show you guys. So after Wes hit him with that belt 2 times, right, that asshole with the dumbbell, his butt buddy, was behind him. And I can't tell if he hit him with it or not, but it lunged him forward, and then he went back to get Wes, but he didn't even make it like a foot or 2, and Wes took him down.
It's just kind of hard to tell. He does have a dumbbell, and he does go off camera, and I can kind of see like the dumbbell on the back of the guy's shirt. So it looks like he got struck by the dumbbell, but it's hard to tell because it's censored here and I don't have the full thing yet, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. I can kind of see arguments for like, oh, the 7-foot monster started it. This is kind of on him. Wes Watson was well within his right to defend himself. That would almost work if the rest of the video footage wasn't there, which is why when Wes Watson was talking about it, he made sure you didn't see the whole picture. Because the guy is on the ground, covered up, fetal position, just trying to like protect his head, and Wes and his friends punch, kick, and strike him with weapons for an extremely long period of time, even though it's very clear this fight is over. Also, it's a fight Wes Watson himself fucking agreed to, it seems. A one-on-one. But it actually was never one-on-one, because Wes, you can't 1v1. He'll never meet you on Rust. He's always going to bring his whole crew with him. So the guy showed up for the fight with Wes, but got gangbanged instead.
The suspect instantly reacts and gets the victim on the ground and begins to strike the victim in the head and face numerous times with his hands. Yeah, I counted 45 fucking times. After the victim being hit numerous times, all you can see is the victim on his knees, protecting his face and not fighting back. His eyes were being gouged, his ponytails were being pulled. Dirty shit. He's being held down by his butt buddies. They're all taking a little lick in, a kick here, a kick there. The suspect then stopped hitting the victim, and the victim stopped protecting his face. That's that part with the kick, and attempted to stand up. The suspect then walked over and kicked the victim in the face with force. That's that soccer kick. But prior to that soccer kick, there was 4 soccer kicks, 3 or 4 hard ones to his face.
No exaggeration, that kind of kick kills people. Straight up. That has put people in the dirt thousands of times over. And this fight is clearly done. There's no more threat to Wes or his group of goofballs. There's no threat there at all. It's done. And Wes Watson comes back like a post-credit scene to deliver one more soccer kick to this man's skull, which literally could have just killed him. But I've still seen people just try and say that everything that happened here is justifiable as self-defense for Wes Watson because the guy came up to him and started it. But I just don't fully agree with that because I feel like the fight is over when 4 people are collectively beating a man with weapons on the ground. Like, I think the fight's done. There's not really a threat to defend yourself from. Also, you were the one that agreed to a 1v1 fight and then it wasn't 1v1. And also, the guy never actually even struck Wes. There's that brief moment where he kind of like lunges at him, but that's also possible. He was falling after getting hit by that dumbbell. It's hard to tell. But no matter how hard you try and justify it, there's no amount of mental gymnastics that could possibly justify that final kick from Wes. Because again, he crawls away on his fucking hands and knees. This is clearly over. Wes Watson's fucking friends have even left at this point, but he still comes back around like a jump scare to deliver that soccer kick, which could have just been fatal. So there's just no way anyone, not even Saul fucking Goodman, could make a convincing argument that that still falls under self-defense. Even Wes Watson's own friends have left. And he has crawled away on his hands and knees, not even looking at you. You come back to attack him.
While he was already done, and they didn't say it in here. I'm going to show it to you guys in the footage. The victim stated at the hospital that he wants to press charges. When he was first put on the ground and stated he was telling the suspect to stop. Victim had the left side of his face very swollen lips, and was bleeding from the nose and mouth. Charges are being pressed. The case is open. I have the body cam footage coming. I have the full fight footage coming.
John Bravo goes on to explain why he's releasing all of this to the public, explaining that he believes that it's a good service to allow people to form their own opinions on something like this. And I think he's absolutely right. Though I don't know how anyone could form the opinion that Wes Watson was in the right here. Again, if the whole footage didn't exist, you could maybe say that there was self-defense at play. Wes Watson feared for his life after someone accepted his challenge of fighting him one-on-one, thus they had to gangbang the guy. Okay, maybe you could stretch for something there, but I think having the rest of the footage, at least for me, has 100% solidified Wes Watson as a big bitch. He issues these challenges. Someone finally accepted it, and then Wes Watson has his 3 friends help him beat that guy's ass. And that guy never even struck Wes, at least not in any of the footage that's been released. There's that one tiny shove, and then he kind of lunges at Wes Watson, but doesn't land any punches or anything at all, immediately covers up because 4 people are now attacking him. and 4 people immediately get ready to attack him the second that he tells Wes Watson that he's up to actually take that fight. So yeah, what a piece of shit. Big old piece of shit. Classic Wes Watson. That's really about it. So yeah. My favorite lolcow, the goober of Gadoosh, Wes Watson, has been arrested. It happened last night while I was streaming, so it was a beautiful little present that we got to engage with and go down the rabbit hole on. And today, the rare super specimen alpha male was negotiating a bail with his lawyer to the judge. John Bravo covered it, and I want to show you a little bit of that bond hearing before showing you about the arrest. This is all tying back to that brutal assault he had on the 7-foot monster who accepted Wes Watson's challenge to fight him. The 7-foot monster went there expecting a 1v1. It was not a 1v1. Wes Watson was surrounded by the goof troop, who beat him mercilessly with weight belts, dumbbells, and striking him in the head numerous times, upwards of 40 times, while he was down on the ground. And when the 7-foot monster was crawling away after everything was said and done, even though this had already been done and dusted, Wes Watson came back with a soccer kick that absolutely could have killed him, and it led to a facial fracture and concussion. Now, he has been arrested for felony battery.
Wes Watson, the piece of shit. He was in court this morning. They fuck up everywhere. They don't even see the guy has a prior, okay? But again, this is not a trial. This is just him begging and pleading with his bitch lawyer to try to get a bail for.
I believe Mr. Watson has numerous defenses, including stand your ground, self-defense, and consent to this charge. I understand the state's theory. However, this individual came to Mr. Watson for the specific purpose of challenging him in a street fight.
Objection! I'm gonna hit you with that Phoenix right, because that's just not the whole truth, nothing but the truth. That's a fucking fib. Wes Watson has a history of challenging everyone who gadooshes him to fight him. He openly challenges tons and tons of people to come to his gym to fight him. And the 7-foot monster was one of those people that accepted the challenge. Yes, he filmed it. Yes, he was the one that pushed Wes Watson first, but he didn't strike Wes Watson. He approached him. They got into a verbal argument. He shoved Wes, and then that was the end of him attacking Wes. Then it was Wes and his 3 friends hitting him with dumbbells, weight belts, getting him to the floor and striking him in the head as many times as possible in like 2 minutes, and then Wes coming back after it was all over to soccer kick him in the head again. I truly don't believe that you can make a sound argument for self-defense when you watch the entirety of that footage. Now, this is not a trial, I recognize that. This is him just trying to get bail so he can post it. But they really do fuck up. They didn't know he had a prior? How? Wes Watson brags about his prior, the 7 years he spent in jail. He brags about that more than someone who peaked in high school who can't stop recounting the glory days of being the high school quarterback like 40 years ago. He will not stop talking about how much time he spent in jail, yet somehow they didn't know he had a prior?
Your Honor, I don't see any local or out-of-county priors here. I would defer to the court and just simply ask for the stay-away order.
The victim suffered a face fracture, concussion, and 2 black eyes, but it looks like you have a very valid legal argument, Mr. Gottlieb.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask for an ROR.
$2,500 count 1, $2,500 count 2 with the stay-away order.
Okay, I just want to, just real quick.
Mr. Watson, please don't make any statements. You and I can talk about it. Thank you, sir.
Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. I'll make sure your bond is arranged. Thank you, Your Honor.
Wes just couldn't help himself. He wanted to yap so badly. I bet he was offended that they didn't see his prior. He was probably going to correct them like, excuse me, Your Honor. This is a load of bullshit. I am a rich stud. I spent 7 years in the slammer, and now look at me. I'm driving 10 Bugattis, and I'm teaching men how to be like me, damn it. The super stud. I went to jail for 7 years. Don't you forget it. I mean this with no exaggeration. Him being in jail for 7 years is probably his proudest achievement. He does not shut the fuck up about it. He is always mentioning how he was in jail for 7 years. So I actually think he was hurt that they didn't see his prior. Now, this again was just for bail. I'm sure he's very happy with how this went down, but I'm hoping that when this does go to trial, they won't be making fuck-ups like this. They won't be making errors like overlooking the 7 years he had already spent locked up. Anyway, though, let's go over his actual arrest here. We did a nice dive into it on stream, so enjoy. It really is just a wonderful thing watching Wes Watson get arrested. Alright. Wes Watson lolcow update. Apparently he's getting arrested. Wes Watson has been allegedly arrested by Miami PD an hour ago. Witnesses confirmed he was put in the back of the car. Reason unknown. Probably has something to do with the blatant assault that was on camera. With Wes Watson, it could be a number of things. Maybe it isn't the assault that we watched. Maybe he was, I don't know, hooping paperwork in the bathroom of the gym and someone reported him for it. It really could be anything. The police gadooshing him. Yeah, he just can't stop. He's a gadoosh magnet. And what's really sad and almost poetically beautiful, Wes Watson isn't really a known name, so there's not a single article written about his arrest. It just comes from Ballbusters with 20 likes. You gotta check the county, you have to check the county mugshot to see his charges. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yep, they got it here already. They did all the hard work. Alright. So they got him on battery and aggravated assault, which is what we saw in that footage where he beat that man with weight belts and then his friends were also beating him and he was soccer kicking his head when he was on the ground. What an alpha male, Wes. What an alpha male. But he's back at home. He spent, what, 10 years in jail, and he talked about how much he loved it. Talked about how he'd always, like, show his butthole around or whatever. Whatever he liked to brag about. How good he was at hooping his paperwork. I'm sure he's happy. I bet he is going to be more comfortable in that cell than in his $90,000 or $900,000 a month rented mansion or whatever it is. I already forgot. Numbers always change. 5'8", lol. I mean, everyone knew he was short. Did he pretend he wasn't? That's not surprising. You can literally see him next to people and recognize he's not tall. He's taller than you. Yeah, barely. And I'm short. He used to say he was 6 foot. Oh, Wes. That's so sad. You want to know something even more sad? He's probably not actually 5'8". He's probably closer to my height at 5'6". They probably had him in his fucking clown shoes, giving him an extra 2 inches. Kind of like what they do for basketball stats, where they just put your height like a little inch or 2 taller. Oh, the mugshot! Oh, see, he looks happy. He looks at peace. This is actually the happiest I've seen him look in, what, months? Because usually he's red in the face, melting down, talking about getting gadooshed by Redditors. He's just perpetually on edge. Even when he's talking to his girl that he rents, he's always, like, mad. And he's always trying to, like, prove something. But here, he looks, like, so serene. He's in his happy place again. He's back in jail, baby. I'm excited to see what they set his bond at. This is fresh, too. This is straight off the press. We got boots on the ground right now for this. How'd they get him? Well, it was filmed. They have multiple angles of him beating the shit out of a man, soccer kicking his head while he's already on the ground and hitting him with weight belts. John Bravo counted it. What was it? 48 hits to the head? From Wes alone? It was something like that. God, it is crazy how he replies to every single person in text messages. I want to be able to identify men by their assholes easier. Nice. That is something Wes said. In Wes's own words, he said people used to identify him not by his face, but his asshole when he was locked up. He would brag about that. He really is a lolcow. He is. He responds to every single DM, every single text message, everything. And then when someone finally takes him up on his infamous "come fight me, bro," he has his friends jump him and they hit him with weapons, dumbbells and weight belts, and then kicking his head while he's on the ground for like 45 seconds, delivering well north of 40 plus blows to the head and 4 soccer kicks. Also, he literally did say that verbatim. I even played the clip. Okay, here. I got him again from my same phone number I pranked him on a month ago. I'm interested in coaching. Let me know and you can go over more details. What's up, bro? What's your main focal point? I'm 5'5", 240, I eat cupcakes, chips all day, I beat my stick 8 times a day, sometimes I even drink it because it tastes good and I'm a freak, but I want to break that habit. Are you messing with me or do you really do that last part you texted me? Don't waste my time. I really do it. Oh my god, I'm not reading all this. Jesus. $5,999 a month. Or, great deal, $15K for 3 months. Whoa. Wait, I gotta stop the music for that. That's a steal. That's an incredible deal. He's just giving his juice away. He's getting this Krabby Patty secret formula into the hands of desperate men for such a low cost, only $6 grand a month. Holy. Okay, I'll do the 12 months for 40K. Great, you need it. Okay. Oh, is this where the leaf blower meme comes from? Is this the genesis? Do I need a leaf blower to start? Do I need to rent escorts? Do I need to rent supercars? Do I need to rent a mansion? Do I need to beef with Reddit users daily? Do I need to scream at people on Instagram? Do I need to drive around my rental in circles? Does every body part need to be tatted? Do I need to use Metal Gear Solid exclamation points, basically, after every sentence? Do I need to turn gay? Do I need to link up with Lados and Nick and circle jerk with him at Elevation? Also, will Diddy be there? I knew you were a troll. You're nothing but a beta bitch. Fuck off and keep being a pussy. You'll never be anything in life. And then a picture of a leaf blower. This is not real. Nope, it is. Wes Watson, if he wasn't in jail right now, you could test it yourself. If you DM'd him saying like, hey, I'm looking for coaching, he would respond being like, yes, for only $6 grand a month. What do you want? And if you just like hit him with anything like you're a bitch, you'd be like, all right, well then, and then he'll go on like Instagram and post a story. So I had this bitch come at a stud like me. Can you believe this? Oh my god. Daily. Actually, I'm gonna check his Instagram right now. I'm gonna wager a guess he has nothing shy of 30 stories just today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Just shy. We just missed it. It's crazy. But here he is. I don't know what I wonder what he's complaining about.
You'll understand there's a fucking point there. And I know the answer to all of this shit, but you guys don't seem to. You guys keep falling.
It's just because you're a galaxy brain, Wes. No one goes to jail more effectively than you, brother. Yeah, he does that like 30 times a day, at least. Unfortunately, his arrest is going to make it so he's going to fall short of his quota of stories on Instagram, unfortunately. But, you know, it is what it is. When you're a stud like Wes, sometimes you got to go into the slammer every now and then. It would be over 30 if he wasn't in jail for the past 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah. He got felony charges, lol. Yep. I know. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Wonder how many people send him the 6K. I don't know how many people send him the 6K, but there's a lot of dudes that try and suck on his meat and try and do exactly what he does. So there's like an old guy that this subreddit was clowning on for a while. I forgot his name. I'm sure if I scrolled down far enough, I could just come across him. But there's a couple dudes that do literally what Wes Watson does one-to-one, even mimicking the way he speaks. Like his voice intonation, everything. One-to-one to try and carbon copy his success.